Hey, it's Rebecca with Ring Nail Studio, and today we are back with another pedicure video. Some of the clips are on real time, and then some of them are sped up by just 2 times. So let's just get into this client's service. She has been with me for a few months. This is her 4th pedicure service. And of course, she has been doing her at-home care. After this pedicure, she did want her toes polished. So she is still going to be using her at-home products. So I'm curious to see just how much they're actually going to work with the polish on, because I know it's still going to work, but I just don't know how fast. So I'm curious to see that next month. But of course, the first thing I'm going to do is let her soak for about 10 minutes. And then once I get her foot nice and dry, I always look at the bottom of the foot just to check for any like discoloration or callus, and see just how much work she needs for the back of her foot and under her toes. Next, I'm going to push back the cuticles after applying some cuticle softener. And then once I do that, before I start trimming the nails, I always go underneath the toenail to see how far I can trim the toenail without causing any discomfort. Now, this part can be done with essentially any tool that you have, but I went in with my curette for this step. And then I'm going to go in with my nippers. I do not use a traditional toenail clipper or clipper because not all toenails are shaped in a way that they can be clipped with clippers. The nippers give me a more comfortable access in order to trim the toenails. And you'll see on her left foot that she does have a pincher nail, and using nippers really helps to trim that type of toenail, and I'll tell you exactly how and why. Once I trim the toenails, I am going to just file and shape them, and then I'll have her place this foot back in the foot bath just to help soften the big toenail a bit more. That way we can get a more detailed cleaning done from underneath the toenail. Now, this client does have a separated toenail from the nail bed, but I'm not trimming the toenail all the way down because I do not want her to have too much exposure on her nail bed. But I am aware that it is lifted from the nail bed. So as the toenail grows out, we will trim the big toenails. But until then, we're just going to monitor and keep everything nice and clean. Okay, for the pincher toenails, you really want to make sure that you have a clear vision or clear access to where you're trimming this particular type of toenail, because when it's pinching, there's going to be skin in between the nail. Thankfully, this toenail has grown out quite a bit from where the skin is pinched. And she says that she doesn't feel any discomfort in this nail. So this is where I'll use my nippers at an angle to trim the toenail from each side. And then I will go, at the front and try to clip that top part. But I am going to let her foot soak again just to soften it up some more. That way I can get a deeper clean. And then we'll try to trim it some more. But this pincher toenail has opened up quite a bit since I first started servicing this client, which I'm really relieved. You can see right here, I'm going to go in and get whatever I can out of the way. That way I can get a clear path to see where exactly the skin is. I was not able to clip a lot of the toenail off, but I was still able to get a nice little updated clip or a picture of this particular toenail. So just keep that in mind when you are working on pincher toenails. Now, you can go ahead and use your Fix or polygel or acrylic to help the toenail start growing out more flat. But I don't really like to use stuff like that until it's absolutely like the last resort, just because it does require a lot of maintenance. And I just like to see my clients every 4 to 6 weeks. So I guess you can say I like to take a slower approach, but my clients' safety and budget is a really big factor for me. So we're just going to let that toenail grow out. And if she starts to experience more discomfort or pain, then we will go in with some polygel or an acrylic, acrylic base just to help the toenail grow more flat. But those options really do work. If you don't think they work, that's tough, because I've used the acrylic method several times. But like I said, maintenance is really important, and a lot of clients do not understand that. So it is what it is. But I'm just filing and shaping here, and then I'm just going to show you guys how I treat calluses. So I did apply some callus remover on the most calloused parts of the foot, and then I'm going to go in with my sanding file. Now, I did receive the wrong size of the replaceable strips, so I'm doing what I can with what I got, okay? It still gets the job done, and you just need to make sure that you're using the right tools. When I first started seeing this client, she did have quite a bit of callus buildup, dry skin, but her feet are looking better and better every time I see her. So I'm really excited about that. And then after this, I'm going to have her put her foot back in there just so we can get a deeper clean. All right, for this big toenail, I wanted to trim just a little bit more just to get a deeper clean because like I said earlier, the toenail is lifted off of the nail bed. And I did need to clip a little bit more just to get a more thorough cleaning underneath. Now, I use different implements for different reasons. So this one is the nail rasp, and it has a kind of serrated texture just to catch all of that extra debris that I was not able to get out with my curette. And she didn't have a lot of excess dead skin or anything, but she did express a still feeling discomfort in that toenail. But if you look at the toenail, you can see the new growth and how much more wide it is growing out. And that's where the discomfort is coming from. That right there, that little area I was just scooping out, that is attached to the nail bed. So I was not able to get under there as deep as I would like to. But this client will experience discomfort as her toenails grow out. And like I said, consistency and maintenance is key. So we will just continue to monitor that and clean them out as much as we can at every single service. And of course, between time when she is feeling the discomfort, I have recommended that she soak in some warm water and Epsom salt just to help that discomfort subside. And of course, using her at-home products just to keep the area nice and soft in order for that toenail to grow through. All right, after the second soak, this big toenail was more exposed, meaning everything was nice and soft and I was able to get a really good deep clean. In this clip, you'll start to see that there is something underneath there that is trying to make its way out, but it's fighting me a little bit. So if my hand is in the way, I'm so sorry, but you will see that I use two different tools. The first one is going to be my nail rasp, which is this tool right here. And like I said earlier, it's more of a textured, serrated tool, which is going to catch everything. And I went ahead and switched over to my curette just to help scoop out whatever it was that was stuck in there. And it appeared to be a long piece of skin. Unfortunately, it was still attached to a live part of the nail, so I did not want to pull at it too hard. I just tried to loosen it and then clip it with my nippers. It's important not to pull anything from live skin because you do not want to open up any wounds, especially in this case when the toenail is covering what is going on underneath. Now, I could have trimmed the toenail all the way down to where it's no longer attached, but as I stated earlier, I do not want to expose my client's nail bed too much. She has been showing consistency. She's been coming every month, so I trust that everything's going to be okay as long as we keep everything clean. Now for this last part, we are just trimming any lifted cuticle. This part you want to be really gentle and make sure that you're not taking off too much. She did have a very thick piece of skin around her big toenail, but some of that is still live. It's still pink. So I was just making sure to just go gently across to trim that off. And then I will go in with a massage cream just to smooth the skin and moisturize and prep for polish. That is all for today's video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. I am doing a giveaway at 10K, so make sure that you subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram at BeccaB_. Again, my name is Rebecca, and I hope to see you soon.